Welcome to this deep dive. You know, sometimes it feels like you're speaking completely different languages when it comes to relationships.
Yeah.
So today we're diving deep into emotional availability.
Oh, I like this one.
And trust me, after this deep dive, you'll not only understand it,
Yeah.
but also know how to cultivate it
Ah.
in your own life.
Oh.
So to help guide us today, we have some great insights from Dr. K's Healthy Gamer GG video.
Okay.
He kicks off by talking about how the dynamics
Uh-huh.
between men and women in relationships are shifting.
Okay.
And he really highlights how women are increasingly looking for partners
Right?
who can contribute emotionally,
Yeah.
not just financially.
Oh, absolutely.
The old provider model is just not cutting it anymore.
Not anymore.
It's like women are saying, hey, bringing home the bacon's great,
Right?
but can you also bring home some emotional intelligence?
Uh-huh. I like that.
And to illustrate this, Dr. K uses a personal story
Okay.
about his engagement.
Okay.
And he told his brother, expecting, this outpouring of emotion and support. And
Yeah.
his brother's response was much more focused on the practicalities
Oh, really?
than
So feelings.
the feelings. It was very like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you're getting married. Cool. Where are you going to live?
Oh, wow.
How are you going to afford this?
Okay.
Have you thought about this?
So just kind of like the logistics of it all.
Yeah, exactly.
Not like, congratulations or
And
I'm so happy for you.
it was just so interesting because it kind of leads into this point that Dr. K makes about how
Right.
men can sometimes be the gatekeepers
Mm-hmm.
of emotional intimacy.
That's interesting.
We always kind of think of it
Right.
as the women are more emotionally in tune,
Yeah.
but men have their own barriers to this closeness,
Okay.
like the fear of commitment,
Yeah.
avoiding situations that require deep emotional expression.
Right.
Like Dr. K gives the example of like
Uh-huh.
a guy dragging his feet about meeting the parents,
Oh.
but it's not really about the parents.
Oh, it's deeper than that.
Yeah, it's deeper than that.
Okay.
It's rooted in these anxieties that men may not even be aware of.
Okay.
Like, meeting the parents represents a certain level of commitment.
Yeah.
It can bring up fears of judgment.
Right.
Like, am I good enough for her?
Interesting.
All those insecurities bubble up.
I see.
And because a lot of men are not equipped to deal with those emotions,
Yeah.
they avoid the situation altogether,
Okay.
which of course just creates more conflict
Yeah.
in the relationship.
Right.
This kind of ties into what Dr. K was talking about with societal conditioning.
Mhm.
Like, men are raised to believe that their worth is tied to providing,
Right.
achieving, being strong, manning up,
Yep.
suppressing your emotions.
That whole thing.
And he even draws a parallel to like the red pill
Oh, wow.
and
Huh.
pickup artist communities.
Okay.
Their focus on self-improvement often revolves around
Yeah.
attracting a mate.
Right.
So it further reinforces this need for external validation.
Okay.
And this can really lead to a complacency trap in long-term relationships.
Oh, how so?
Once a man has achieved that goal of like being in the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
he loses the drive to keep growing.
Okay. Interesting.
So Dr. K says the solution is not about forcing yourself into uncomfortable situations
Right.
or pretending you don't have these anxieties.
Yeah.
It's about expressing those fears and vulnerabilities
Okay.
to your partner.
I like that.
It's not about fixing things. It's about sharing your inner world,
Oh.
even the messy parts.
Oh, okay.
So like instead of dodging that meeting the parents thing,
Right.
you say, hey, I know this is important to you.
Yeah.
I want to meet them,
Okay.
but I'm feeling a little insecure right now.
Interesting.
And I want to be my best self when I do.
Right.
That's vulnerability.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people listening are probably like,
Yeah.
okay, but what if I open up and get rejected?
Totally.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought.
And this is where emotional regulation comes in.
Oh, okay.
Dr. K makes a crucial point that emotional dysregulation often leads to disrespect,
Right.
like those uncontrolled outbursts.
Yeah.
Even if the emotions are valid,
Uh-huh.
can really damage a relationship.
Right.
So it's not just about sharing your feelings.
Okay.
It's about doing it in a way that respects you and your partner.
I see.
And Dr. K has some practical strategies for developing this emotional regulation.
Okay. Like what?
He talks about journaling,
Okay.
mind-body practices like yoga,
Uh-huh.
Tai Chi,
I like that.
anything that kind of helps to regulate the nervous system.
Okay.
So you're not constantly in that fight or flight mode.
Right.
It's about learning to hold space for your emotions,
Oh.
to observe them without being totally overwhelmed by them.
Okay. I see.
I love this concept of holding space.
Yeah.
It reminds me of how Dr. K was talking about
Uh-huh.
when he called his brother
Yeah.
after he got engaged.
Yeah.
He realized later that he focused on
Yeah.
all the practical details
Uh-huh.
instead of actually sharing the emotional experience.
Yeah.
It really highlights how men are often conditioned to focus on those externals,
Interesting.
the factual,
Right.
rather than those emotional nuances.
Yeah.
So we need to shift that focus.
Okay.
Share how we feel, even if it feels a bit superfluous
Okay.
or narcissistic at first.
Okay.
Like, think about all those seemingly insignificant details,
Right.
how you felt before, during, and after an event.
Interesting.
It's about sharing your inner world,
Okay.
even if it feels a little self-centered at first.
Yeah.
So instead of saying, my brother congratulated me,
Right.
you say, I was so nervous to tell my brother.
Uh-huh.
I really wanted his approval.
Okay.
I felt so relieved and happy when he was excited for me.
Wow.
It's about adding that emotional depth to your communication,
I like that.
letting your partner in on what's really going on inside.
So we've covered emotional intimacy. Yes.
Emotional regulation
Mm-hmm.
and expressing those emotionally salient experiences.
Yes.
But what does it really mean to hold emotional space for your partner?
That is the question, isn't it?
That is the question.
Dr. K uses this great analogy of tanking the damage.
Tanking the damage.
You're absorbing some of your partner's negative emotions without trying to immediately fix the situation.
Right.
So instead of jumping into that problem-solving mode,
Right.
you let them fully express themselves.
Yeah.
You offer empathy.
Yeah.
You offer support.
I see.
It's about being a safe container for their emotions.
Oh.
So they can process what they're going through
Right.
without judgment,
Okay.
without interruption.
I like that.
And the fascinating thing is that by holding space,
Yeah.
you actually help diffuse those negative emotions.
Oh, wow.
When someone feels truly heard,
Uh-huh.
those feelings often start to lose their intensity.
Interesting.
It's like sharing the burden makes it lighter. Yeah, it's like when someone's there with you, you don't feel so alone.
Right. It's that shared experience.
Exactly. And it's about resisting that urge to offer advice
Oh, yeah.
or solutions.
Yeah, just be there.
Just be there.
Sometimes that's the most loving thing you can do.
Absolutely.
Is just be present.
Be present, be there.
Hold space for their emotions.
Yeah.
Let them know that they're not alone.
It's about shifting from fix-it mode
Oh,
to be-with-it mode.
I love that.
Just allow yourself and your partner to experience the full range of emotions.
Yeah.
Without judgment,
Yeah.
without needing to control everything.
Just be.
Just be.
And this shift can be transformative for relationships.
Absolutely.
Creates a deeper level of connection, intimacy, understanding.
Because ultimately what most people crave
Yeah.
is to feel seen, heard, and validated for who they are.
Exactly.
Emotions and all,
The good, the bad, the ugly.
all of it.
It's about creating that safe and loving space.
Yeah.
Where both partners can truly be themselves. Right.
Flaws and all.
Flaws and all, warts and all.
And that's where true intimacy flourishes.
That's it.
So let's kind of circle back
Okay.
to Dr. K's initial point
Uh-huh.
about this evolving relationship landscape.
Yeah.
He talks about how women aren't just looking for financial providers anymore.
Right.
They want partners who can connect with them
Yeah.
on an emotional level.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that shift is a beautiful thing.
I agree.
It's pushing us to evolve as a society,
Mm-hmm.
to move beyond those old gender roles.
Right. Those outdated expectations.
It's recognizing that relationships are a two-way street,
Yes.
a partnership,
A partnership.
where both people contribute equally.
Yeah.
Not just financially, but emotionally as well.
Absolutely. And I think that's something that
Yeah.
a lot of people struggle with.
Yeah.
It's like redefining what a relationship looks like.
Right.
And how do you navigate that?
Especially because we don't have a lot of examples
Right.
of what that looks like.
And it's also about embracing the full spectrum of human emotions.
Yes.
The
good, the bad,
not just the good,
the ugly,
the light and the shadow.
all of it.
Because it's in those moments
Yeah.
of shared experience
Mm-hmm.
that true connection is forged.
I like that a lot.
So to kind of wrap up this part of the deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
What if emotional availability
Yeah.
wasn't just a nice to have?
Right.
What if it was a fundamental human need?
Interesting.
What if it was the key
Ooh.
to unlocking deeper, more fulfilling relationships?
Okay.
Not just with partners, but with family, friends,
Right.
and even ourselves.
Yeah, like our relationship with ourselves.
Exactly.
Our own emotional availability.
Yes.
I like that.
Imagine a world
Okay.
where emotional intelligence
Uh-huh.
was valued just as highly
Yeah.
as IQ,
Right.
where vulnerability was seen as a strength,
Oh, I love
and holding space for each other's emotions was just the norm.
the norm.
That's the world that I think we're all striving to create.
I agree.
And it starts with each of us
Yeah.
choosing to show up authentically,
Uh-huh.
embrace our emotional
Good
selves,
for you.
and cultivate those deep, meaningful connections
Yeah.
that make life worth living.
Beautifully said. Absolutely. And those connections start with us,
They do.
with our own emotional availability.
Right. It's an inside job.
It is.
So let's talk about some practical steps
Okay. I'm ready.
for cultivating emotional availability.
Let's do it.
We can kind of break it down
Okay.
into 3 key areas.
I like this.
The first one is self-awareness.
Okay.
So this is about understanding your own emotional landscape.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are your triggers?
Yeah.
What are your patterns?
Pushes your buttons.
Yeah, what are those things that make you shut down
Oh, yeah.
or lash out
Right.
or become defensive?
Interesting.
Once you understand those patterns,
Yeah.
you can start to manage them more effectively. You can notice them arising
Right.
and choose a different response.
Yeah.
You know, maybe instead of getting angry,
Uh-huh.
you take a few deep breaths,
Right.
you walk away from the situation.
Yeah.
You process your feelings before responding.
So it's about taking a pause.
Exactly.
Before reacting.
Right.
Okay.
The second key area is communication.
Okay.
So this is about expressing your feelings
Right.
in a clear and healthy way.
So not just like word vomit,
No.
but thoughtful communication.
Thoughtful and respectful.
Okay.
And remember, it's not just about sharing the positive emotion.
Uh-huh.
It's also about being vulnerable,
Yeah.
sharing those fears and insecurities.
Oh, I see.
Because that's where the real connection happens.
Right.
When you let your partner see the whole you.
The whole you.
And finally, the third key area is active listening.
Okay.
So this is about really being present
Yeah.
with your partner
Uh-huh.
when they're sharing their feelings.
Putting your phone down.
Yes, putting the phone down,
Making eye contact.
eye contact, and resisting that urge to offer solutions
Oh, yeah.
or advice,
Unless they ask for it.
unless they specifically ask for it.
Right.
Sometimes the best thing you can do is
no.
just listen,
Just listen.
empathize,
Validate.
and let your partner know
Yeah.
that you're there for them.
That you see them. That you hear them.
Exactly.
I get it.
So those are the 3 key areas.
Okay.
Self-awareness, communication,
Yeah.
and active listening.
Active listening.
And of course, it takes practice.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's not something that happens overnight.
You're not going to be perfect at it
Yeah.
right away.
There will be times
You'll mess up.
you'll mess up.
You'll fall back into old patterns.
But that's okay.
It's part of the process.
It's part of the journey.
Yeah.
And the more you practice,
Uh-huh.
the better you'll become.
And the stronger your relationships will be.
Exactly. And remember, emotional availability is a gift. Not just to your partner,
Yeah.
but to yourself as well.
That's so true.
Because when you're emotionally available,
Yeah.
you're opening yourself up
Uh-huh.
to deeper, more fulfilling connection.
Deeper connection.
And that's what makes life so rich.
It does.
So if you're ready to dive deeper into emotional availability
Yeah.
and all the other juicy topics we explore,
Right.
hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, we'd love to have you join us.
Until next time,
Keep diving deep.
keep diving deep.